Hi, everyone. My name is Steffi Lee, and I'm part of the communications team here at the Iowa Association of Business and Industry. Thank you for watching the Iowa Association of Business and Industry's weekly business report. And joining me today is Vice President of Public Policy, JD Davis, and Director of Public Policy, Brad Hartkopf, to talk about this week's Public Policy Committee meetings. So JD and Brad, what were the main takeaways about this week's meetings, and what should our members know?
Well, thank you, Steffi. And first, just kind of reminding our members where we are in our process. Brad and I and the ABI team have just concluded 5 regional meetings around the state of Iowa, taking input from ABI members into our public policy process, and have begun the process of having committee meetings on public policy areas that the association follows closely and seeks to influence legislation. So we have this week have concluded 3 of the 5 meetings that we will have on public policy to develop our positions that we'll take to the legislature in January.
As JD mentioned, we kicked off our public policy meetings this week, and that began with the Environment Committee meeting Monday on August 9th. And we were pleased to have Iowa DNR Director Kayla Lyon come and speak before the committee. She's always a favorite of members, as she brings a wealth of knowledge to the Environment Committee when talking about those kinds of issues. She really highlighted a number of efficiencies that the department is making during this time of COVID, whether that's through the permitting process, using that tool like Easy Air, or other ways that the department is working to get information out to those that they regulate in a more timely manner. Another key topic that was brought up during the discussion was the Sustainable Materials Management Initiative that the DNR has been working on for a few years. And this really seeks to revamp solid waste management and recycling moving forward, going into the future. And so Nicole Crane and myself have been a part of subcommittee meetings, and we'll be tracking that closely as the progress on that issue takes place.
On Tuesday of this week, we had our Employment and Workforce Committee meeting, and past efforts in that from that group led us to our successes last year in child care legislation and workforce housing legislation. A perennial effort of that group is to work on unemployment tax reform. And on Tuesday, we were joined by State Senator Adrian Dickey, Iowa's newest state senator. He replaced Marinette Miller Meeks when she ascended to Congress, and he wanted a special session just this year. With his advice, we were led on kind of his private sector experience of running a small business himself. He's in the trucking business, and a third of his trucks are empty because of a lack of workers. And some of that, he believes, is due to the pandemic era levels of unemployment insurance and the reforms that need to take place to encourage people to get back to work. And so we were given a master class on how he sees that as an employer and how that intersects with his work as a public policymaker. The committee was very encouraged that we will have a place to go and be working on this issue next year for some real results.
And then on Wednesday, we had our Workplace and Product Safety Committee convene, and we were honored to have Iowa's Workers' Compensation Commissioner, Joe Cortez, join us for that. And he really talked about a number of the trends that he's seen across the country when it comes to workers' compensation. And he also highlighted a number of the agency's successes, including clearing out the backlog of appeals claims that had been brought before him. This is really a good thing, and we're pleased to hear that, because it's going to provide more certainty for employers as cases are brought forward, and that those can be resolved in a more timely manner. There were also comments from committee members who attended that meeting who practice in the work comp defense area, really highlighting the success of the 2017 workers' compensation overhaul, which ABI spearheaded here in Iowa. And just to hear that anecdote from our members to kind of validate the work that we do for everybody really makes me feel good personally, and knowing that we're really doing a lot to enhance the business climate in Iowa. So another great committee meeting in the books as we wrapped up Wednesday.
On the August 23rd, we will have our Economic Growth Committee, and we'll be addressed by the head of the Iowa Economic Development Authority, Debbie Durham. Finally, our last one on August 24th is our Tax Committee. And we are very pleased that Department of Revenue Director Craig Paulson will address that group, and we'll cover the issue areas that that members work on in the economic growth area and in the tax area on those dates.
Great. Thank you, JD and Brad. And as I said, later this month, we will still have 2 additional public policy committee meetings, and you can register for these at iowaabi.org/events. And please reach out to JD and Brad if you have any questions. Thank you.